As you can tell from the title of this video, I am going to show you how to create this, which is Rotel dip. So keep watching. I'm going to show you how to do it. This is a very detailed video, step by step. So the first thing you want to do is choose two different kinds of meats. I chose chorizo and I chose ground turkey. The next thing you're going to do is choose 3 different kinds of cheeses. I do not suggest that you use Velveeta cheese, but if that is your preference, go ahead and do it. So later on in this video, I will tell you and explain the cheeses that I used and why I chose to use them. I did also have green pepper and red pepper, but I decided not to use those. So all you need is green onion, a half of a yellow onion, jalapeno peppers, 2 cans of Rotel, and you also need cream cheese. So the first thing I did was cube all of the cheeses. This right here is cheddar cheese and it's freshly shredded. I got this from my local Italian market. You're going to take an aluminum pan and you're going to dump the whole thing in there. So next you are going to cube your selections of cheese. So I chose sharp cheddar cheese and I chose Monterey Jack cheese. I got these from my local Italian market as well. So I cut this whole thing into cubes. Again, you are simply going to cut these in cubes. You kind of want small cubes because again, you want it to melt pretty quickly in the oven. And then if you smoke it on the grill, you still want to be able to make sure that it is melted completely. So the reason why I say not to use Velveeta cheese is because it's processed. So you can buy the cheese on the shelf and then when you open it, you have to put it in the refrigerator. That is processed cheese. And to me, it tastes like plastic, but that's just my opinion. You know, if y'all want to use it, go ahead and use it. But if you have a Italian grocery market somewhere in your area or not too far, just go there. Their cheeses are fresh, and 9 times out of 10, they make it there. So Rotel is very flavorful. So in this case, you don't want one flavor or one seasoning to overpower the next one. You want to be able to taste everything in this dip. And this is definitely not the dip that you should eat every day, every week, every month. Special occasion like, Super Bowl parties, birthday parties, small gatherings, stuff like that. But I wouldn't eat this every single day because it's cheese and it's cream cheese in there. So it's a lot of saturated fat. So I'm going to let you guys watch me cube all of the cheeses. Somebody asked me, well, more than one person asked me to, show me chopping the stuff in real time. So here you go. So I'll be back in a minute. So here I am doing the exact same thing with the Monterey Jack cheese. After you get the whole thing, cubed up, you are going to add it to the aluminum pan in its own little section. The next thing that we are going to do is dice all of the veggies, which is just the green onion, the yellow onion, and the fresh jalapeno peppers. So here you can watch me chop the green onion. Make sure you cut the ends off, of course, and then just proceed to dicing them. Make sure they are not thick. Make sure they are not thin. They do not need to be fine. They do not need to be roughly chopped. They need to kind of be medium, like what I'm doing right here. I don't know how to explain that. So I have the green pepper and the red pepper because I was going to add a third cup of each, which you see the third cup right here. And then I found out that I did not need it. When I had everything assembled together, I actually forgot to add it and then found out that it didn't need it. So don't worry about that. But after you get the green onions chopped up, you're just going to place that into the pan tin as well, and then in its own little section. This is just so you can take a clear picture of what it is that you have, because if you forget just like I did, that's what's gonna happen. And I was only gonna add it just to add a little extra flavoring and color, but after I tasted the meat and everything, it did not need it at all. So disregard the green and red pepper. So I used one bunch of green onion. I used the bunch that it came in, so it's like no particular measurement to that. I don't know how many it was because I just took the rubber band off, gave them a good rinse and some, apple cider vinegar and water and whatever, and then I just cut it up. So don't ask me the measurement because I don't know. I just grabbed a bunch of them. But what I can say is that right here you saw me doing 4, and I believe it was no more than like 7. So the next thing you want to do is dice half of a yellow onion. Do not use a red onion. I saw someone do a red onion and I was completely thrown off. Don't do a red onion, just do a white onion. You can even do a Videa onion if you want to, but do not do a red onion. So you're just gonna dice it. There is a technique to dicing a onion. Actually, the form of an onion is the form that your hand should be when you are dicing, slicing anything. Chef tip 101. We're going to talk about some things on my channel because I'll be seeing stuff done all the way wrong. But anyways, back to this. You saw me do it. You want to slice it in between and then slice it down, and then boom, there you go. You got some little dices of onion. Technical terms is horizontally and vertically, whatever. Y'all get the picture. You're looking right at it. You are going to slowly and carefully do this. This is why I did not speed up this video. Like I said, a lot of people was asking me to do it in real time. So here is the real time. When you dice anything, especially an onion, you want to make sure, again, that your hands are forming that onion. Your knuckles should be pointing straight. They should not be flat. No fingers should be flat. If they are flat, you will cut your finger. You don't want to do that. So after you get the onion diced, you are going to put it in no particular order into the pan, and now we are going to dice the jalapeno peppers. You want fresh. You don't want any in a can. You don't want any pickled kind of nothing. You want the fresh jalapeno peppers. So the first thing you're going to do is cut the ends off, just like I'm doing right here. And then this is my trash bag. I just put it right here. I was trying to move it back and forth. But then you're going to take all of the seeds out. You don't want the seeds at all. The seeds to fresh jalapeno peppers are extremely hot. Very hot. And then if you can even believe it's a pepper, y'all know them Carolina peppers, that is way hotter than these. So just take the seeds out. Don't eat the seeds. So right here you see me just cleaning it out. Please, again, make sure you take all the seeds out. You're going to do julienne slices first. This is what this is called, which is the long strings, basically what they are. Then you're going to turn it to the side and you are going to dice them down. So once again, you are going to slowly and carefully do this. And just a quick tip, make sure none of those seeds are on that cutting board, because if one pops off and hits you in the eye, your life is over. So please make sure there are no seeds in or around you as you dice these jalapeno peppers. So please do as I say and not as you see, because it was a couple on this cutting board, but I know how to get around them. So now you're going to take those jalapeno peppers that are diced and you're going to put that in the pan as well. Again, no particular order. It does not matter. It's all going to melt, and cook together. So you want to go ahead and put all of that in there. So after the jalapeno peppers, which is the last thing that you need to dice, is in that pan, you're going to wrap it in some saran wrap, let it chill in the refrigerator until you are done cooking your meats. So right here you see me oiling two separate pans because we have two separate meats. The ground turkey is seasoned differently than the chorizo is. The chorizo is already seasoned. So I know I'm going to get some people asking me if you've never made this or if you've never seen it, what is chorizo? Chorizo is a Mexican sausage that's seasoned with a variety of Mexican seasonings and chilies and stuff like that. In this particular dip, I do suggest that you use chorizo and not ground beef. I do see a lot of people using ground beef, but this is a Mexican, Spanish dip, and it originated from there. So it's only right to use chorizo, in my opinion. But if you make this, make it your way, substitute it. But this is how I made mine. So you are going to do the exact same thing with the ground turkey. You're going to take a pan, add about 3 tablespoons of oil, and you are going to add the ground turkey in there. Now we are going to make sure we are breaking up all of the meat. As you can see, try not to get it everywhere like I did. So once you feel like the ground turkey is broken up, you are going to switch to the chorizo. Grab another spoon or whatever it is that you was using and break up the chorizo. You have to do the chorizo a couple different times just with the as well as the ground turkey, because you want it you don't want it to be broken up pretty well. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just breaking up the meat. I took out a couple clips of this video because it would have been super long. The amount of time that it takes me now to cook is kind of ridiculous, but that's a different story. I have to sit, I have to take breaks, all kind of stuff. But as you can see here, this is what I'm doing. The easiest way to do this is to break the meat up before you put it in the pot. But even me doing that, as you saw, it still needs to be broken up. But it's not that difficult. It doesn't take that long. But like I said, with me, it kind of takes a little bit of extra time. But next, you are going to season your ground turkey. So we are going to make our own taco seasoning. But again, if you have the taco packet, make your life a little bit easier. But this is what I do. You're going to take 1 tablespoon of chili powder and 1 tablespoon of onion powder. The chorizo has a lot of different Mexican spices, so you do not want to add too much. These are the only 2 that I added, and I also added about a teaspoon of salt. So you want to make sure that those seasonings do get mixed in pretty well. You want this on medium to low heat. You don't, of course, make sure you do not burn it. My heat is on. Somebody actually said that I'm not really cooking because my stove don't be on, and clearly my stove is on. You clearly see the smoke, but whatever, because y'all say some dumb stuff, especially in the comments. But you're just going to make sure you are mixing that up. It should turn a different color. As you can see it here, it's going to turn like a deep brown color. So next you are going to add 1 cup of water, but you are going to add 1/2 first, and then the other half I added later. It is very important to gradually add this water because you need the whole cup, but you need it to absorb the first ½ cup. After it cooks for about 3 to 5 more minutes, you want to make sure you taste it. If it is too salty, what you want to do, if that happens, you want to balance the salt. So you want to add about a teaspoon of sugar gradually until you balance it out. You will not be able to taste the sugar unless you add too much sugar. If you add too much sugar, just throw it away and start over. So you see me adding 1 teaspoon of salt. That's all I added. It is enough sodium in here. If done correctly, it should look just like this. Once again, after the first flip of both the meats, it should only take 3 to 6 minutes. I'm saying 3 to 6 minutes because it does finish cooking in the oven, so you really don't want to cook it all the way through. You just want to cook it to where there's no raw meat. So now you see me taking 1 package of cream cheese of your choice, and you are going to dice this, no particular order, but you do want them diced because again, you want them to melt in all together. And you're going to put that in the aluminum pan that you took out of your refrigerator that was chilling as you cooked the meats. So it really doesn't matter what kind of cream cheese that you use. You even can use mascarpone cheese if that's what you have, because that is cream cheese. It has no taste to it, but it does give your dips and your sauce a nice texture. And your substitution, if you just do not like cream cheese, I know some people that will not eat cream cheese, can be sour cream. If you don't like sour cream, I suggest you do not make it with it. Just completely remove it. So now we are going to take the meats and you're going to put them in the aluminum pan. So this is the size pan that I had. This made a lot. If you want a bigger pan, go ahead and use a bigger pan. But this is a pretty big pan from what I was making. So you are just simply going to spoon it all. You want to move it around. You don't want it like stuffed. It looked like I'm stuffing it, but I'm not. I just had a lot of space that I just had to actually take up. So you want to just put it in its own section. It does not matter which section, but this is for you to see exactly what you have so you can add more, take away, or just do what you want to do. Keep in mind, this is going to all melt together in whatever it is that you decide to bake it in, whether it is baking it in the oven or whether it is smoking it outside on the grill. So we are going to do the exact same thing with the ground turkey with our homemade taco seasoning. And we are going to put that in the pan. Whatever section is left, you actually are going to fill that section up with the ground turkey. And you should be able to see, again, exactly what you have. You should see the ground turkey, the chorizo, 3 different cheeses, onions, the green onions, and the jalapeno peppers, and the sour cream. So now we're going to take 1 1/2 cans of Rotel, or you are going to dump that in the middle, juices and all. So Rotel is tomatoes with chilies in them. So you are done prepping your Rotel dip. So now it should look just like this. This is the picture, where you guys get to see exactly what you just did. You can take stuff away, you can add it to it, whatever you want to do. But this is what it should look like before you bake it or before you smoke it on the grill. Pretty easy. So you are going to preheat your oven to 375. And then after that, you are going to take that whole aluminum pan and you are going to put that in the oven. You're going to bake this for about 25 to 35 minutes. At the 15-minute mark, you are going to mix everything in just like this because your cheese will start to melt. 10 minutes before this comes out of the oven, you are going to fry yourself some fresh tortilla chips. I have a video on my channel that I will link below that will show you exactly how to do that. Because for a dip like this, you will eat these with tortilla chips. One of the best ones, in my opinion, is the blue corn ones, but you can have your choice. Or you can just buy it from the grocery store. But this is how this will look like. Let me know how I like this recipe, and I will see you in my next video.